Hey everyone, Antonia Gates here, and I am coming to you guys from Albany, Georgia. I'm here for a health conference with my husband. I forgot my camera stand at home, so I'm holding up my camera with my hand, so I hope you don't mind that. But as you can see, we are in a hotel room, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about why I decided to become a teacher and how I actually became a teacher. I thought it's interesting to know different stories and hear my story, and I love hearing other people's stories about how they became a teacher and why they chose this profession over all other professions. Okay, so ever since I was little, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I would play like I'm a teacher with my little dolls. I'll sit them down, line them up, and I would actually take out my little easel that my mom bought for me with the chalkboard at the time, because that was the popular thing. It wasn't dry erase boards. And I would teach to my dolls. So I always knew that I enjoyed teaching. As I got older and I went into high school, I also did student teaching, assistant teaching. Since I was finished with my courses a little earlier, my credits, I was able to take like electives. So one of the electives was a teacher assistant, and so I teacher assist for a second grade classroom, and I loved it. And I tutored also through high school, like younger grades. And right then and there, I was like, this is what I want to do. But then something happened. As I was getting ready to apply for colleges and figure out what exactly I want to do for the rest of my life, I was talking to my parents, and they came to this country as immigrants, and they worked very hard. Neither of my parents got college education. My dad did go to trade school to be a plumber and had his own plumbing business, and they were both very successful, but they always instilled in me and my siblings that going to college was the way to go. And they wanted, all parents want you to be even more successful than they are, right? So they thought the teaching profession was not something that I can make, I guess, a lucrative income with. And so they were like, well, why don't you go for like a doctor or something? So instead of following teaching, which is what I thought that I wanted to do, I said, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and go the doctor route and be a pediatrician, since I love, working with little kids. So that's what I did. I went ahead and applied to different schools for biology programs, and got accepted to Hampton University. And I did 3 years there in their biology program. And even when I was there, I thought about teaching. And I volunteered with the little kids. They had like this preschool on campus, so I volunteered with their little kids. And again, I still always had it in the back of my head, like, is this what I really want to do? Do I really want to be a doctor? Yada, yada, yada. And I did enjoy science. I really enjoyed it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. My parents are helping me pay for college, so I'm going to go ahead and continue with that. So that's what I did. So after my third year at Hampton University, my family had moved to Texas, so I transferred to school in Texas, the University of Texas at Dallas, and I finished off my biology program there, and I graduated with a degree in biology. After graduation, I was like, you know what? I want to take a semester off and figure out if going into medical school is really what I want to do. I did a job as a medical assistant. I didn't have to go through training with the doctors that I worked with. They actually said that they will train us, and I did some stuff in the office. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it, but in the back of my head I kept saying I'm not in love with it, and I want to make sure that I'm in love with something if I'm gonna spend the rest of my life doing this, especially since I would have to take out student loans and all these things to do that in grad school. So after the medical assistant thing, I went ahead and applied for a preschool teaching position. The preschool teaching was, ever since the first day I stepped foot in that classroom, I fell in love with the teaching even more. Even though I already knew it was something I loved, it was just, I felt right in. I don't know how to explain it. It was like my passion just came alive, and I was so comfortable. And you know, after working there for about 8 months, I got promoted to like lead teacher, and it was just amazing. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and apply to a grad program to see if I could get my master's in education and to see if I could get certified as a teacher so that I can teach in a public or a private school or whatever type of school that I decided to teach at. So I went ahead and got my master's in DBU, but while I was working on my master's, because it took about 2 years to get it, I applied for their ALT certification program at Dallas Baptist University in Texas. And this program is basically, if you have a bachelor's degree, you can go ahead and take some months to get a teaching certificate, and you sit a test, you get a certificate, and you're able to legally teach in the state of Texas. So I think it took the whole process took me about a year to get a teaching certificate, only because you have to take 2 tests. You have to take the pedagogy test and you have to take the subject test. The pedagogy test, I passed with flying colors, but the life science 7 through 12 test, it took me about 2 times to pass the test. And after the first time, I got so defeated and I really didn't want it to fail the second time. So I took a little bit more time to study and practice, and I was able to pass it the second time with not just a passing score, but a really high score. So I was proud about that. My first year, while I was going through the teaching program in DBU, even before I got certified, I had a probationary certification, and so I was able to teach in a charter school. Okay, let me rewind. I'm getting ahead of myself. My hand is killing me, guys. All right. So I was gonna student teach with the Dallas Baptist University program. So first I did the student teaching. Did it for 2 weeks, and after talking with my husband, we realized that it's not the best decision for me because we need 2 incomes in our household. So I went back and I spoke to my graduate degree program and let them know that I prefer to do the internship. You could either do the student teaching for 1 semester or the internship for 2 semesters, which is pretty much like a whole school year. So I did the internship instead, and I ended up getting accepted in the middle of the school year, which was surprising, at a charter school, taught there. And then after that, I went on to get certified finally while I was teaching at the charter school. And that's pretty much how the process happened. A couple of resources that I used to study for the test for teaching was study.com. Study.com like saved my life. There was a fee, a monthly fee, but it's something that you could cancel anytime. So once you feel like you're prepared, you can cancel it. I did a little bit of studying with Khan Academy for the first test, before the first test, and it's a really great website, but just kind of what the test was looking for, I needed more detail and visuals to go ahead and practice to go ahead and sit that test. So the study.com really helped me a lot. Yeah, so I'm now currently a teacher and been loving it, and there's been ups and there's been lots of downs, but I wouldn't trade it for the world because, you know, I've met so many amazing students, so many amazing families, and my students are like my children, and they know that. I tell them all the time. They're like my best friends in the classroom, and you know, they come, when you're a teacher, the kids, they see you as more than just a teacher. Some of them call me moms, you know, building that relationship. Overall, I wouldn't change my decision for the world, and if anybody needs any advice or have any questions for me, I'm here to help. I'm glad to help you with any process when it comes to applying to be a teacher or to become certified, or how it is just being a teacher, summers, and all that stuff. So Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe so that you can see more videos like this. Comment below. Like this video if you enjoyed hearing my story today, and I will see you guys next time.